Right, I'm out here today again with Andrew's Remington 1100. I posted a video not too long ago reviewing this, shooting clays and whatnot, slugs out of the smooth bore, not this one. I'll get to that in a second, steel targets and whatnot. So if you want to check out a review video on this, this thing is a late 60s production, but as you can see, she's in excellent shape and still runs like new. But if you want to see the review video on this, I'll put a link in the description. But he got this, I wouldn't say new, but different barrel for it. So this is a slug barrel, but it's still a smooth bore. It's period correct, but it has these adjustable rifle sights on it. He says he intends to deer hunt with it next year, so he wants me to get it sighted in for these slugs for him. But that's what I'm going to do here today, so it's just going to be a little quick video. So I'm going to start out here. I'll laser this in a second, but I think that's about, I don't know, 15, 20 yards right there. I'm going to set up a target there, and we're going to get it zeroed for 50 yards, but I'm going to start out closer here to see where it's impacting. Then he gave me 2 boxes of each of these. The Federals are 1 1/4 ounce, the Winchesters are 1 ounce, and he intends to hunt with the 1 ounce, the more modern Winchesters. So I'm doing as he asked, and he asked me to finalize the zero on these since that's what he will be using, 1 ounce Winchesters when he deer hunts. So I'll probably use these at first just to get it kind of dialed in, and then we'll fine tune it on the Winchesters there. All right, best I can tell, it looks like it's going to be high left. We'll go ahead and take 1 shot to see where it is and make adjustments from there. After this initial shot here, I'll get you guys just zoomed in on the target down there. I think I was wrong. Look like low right slightly. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Oh, wait. Which one's the wad? I gotta go look. I think the wad's in the neck. Yep. That's the one thing that sucks about shotgun close range. The wad always punches the paper, but you see that perfectly round hole there from the slug. So it's actually doing a 6 o'clock hold on this, so it's very close. It's just slightly off to the right, so just got to bring it a hair to the left. Then we'll move the target out. By the way, that was just at 19.7 yards. Now I got it down there at the 50 yard. I rangefindered that. It says it's actually 53 yards. So if you guys want to get yourself a good budget rangefinder, these are only like 60 bucks now. I think back in the day I paid like 80, 90 for it, but I've had that for several years. Works great. So if you're on the lookout for a good budget rangefinder, there's a link in the description for that one. All right, so I got you guys zoomed in down there at 50 yards. So I just gave it a slight tweak to the left, and we'll see if that centered it up for us. All right, other than accuracy, that's looking close, so send a couple more down here. Yeah, it looks like it's just kind of circling around the bullseye, so I would say that's it right there. So I'll put up a fresh target, and I'll switch to those Winchesters, see if maybe those do a little better. Yeah, you can see there, it quite literally just circled the center bullseye there. Now this one was from that 20-yard shot, but still. So I'm going to have my gong set up here. I'm going to paint it up, and we're going to shoot at that with the Winchesters. That's a little bit bigger. This is a half-scale silhouette, so it gives me a little more real estate there in case the Winchesters have a different point of impact. All right, here we go. Still at 50 yards. I just gave it a little green dot there to give it some contrast against the snow and to give me something to aim at. So I'm just going to do a 6 o'clock hold on that green dot. All right, that's pretty good. I mean, I was pretty sure I was hitting the center there because that green dot, it changed a lot. After that first shot, I was like, ooh, I must have hit it. So she really likes those Winchesters. That is shooting those at least twice as tight as those Federal. So that was easy. She's ready to rock at 50 yards there. But since I got 2 left out of that box, down here at 100 yards, There's this, I don't know, quarter scale buffalo, something like that right there. I'm just going to take the last 2 shots at that out of that one box. See if we can hit it. Now, I know that Slug's going to drop some from there. I'm not quite sure how much. So I'm going to aim at the buffalo, but I'll probably just aim like 3/4 up it or something like that, like towards the back, because I'm expecting a few inches of drop from those slugs at 100. It's twice the distance there. I heard it hit metal on both. I'm not sure. Maybe my first shot was a little low or something. You guys would have seen it, but so I was just putting the front bead basically at the covering the spine with it. And again, that thing's like a quarter scale, actually probably smaller. I'll show you guys here in a sec. We'll go down and look at that gong there too. But let me see if I can show you these sights real quick. So, like I said, these were adjustable. So you got, come on, focus. Jeez. It just will not focus. So you see you got that little ladder there. You can walk it up the ramp for your elevation. On the other side here, again, if this thing would focus, there's an adjustment screw. You turn it one way or the other, it'll bring the ramp left or right. And then the front sight, there you go. There's your front sight. So it's smaller than a bead, probably half the size of a regular shotgun bead. And you just put that in the rear notch there. That's how you aim. I usually, when I try to line these up, I can't get it to focus, but let me see if I can get it real quick. There you can see the front sight a little bit better, but I'm probably not going to be able to line them both up in focus. You just have that rear notch there like that. You set it in a notch, and that's your sight system on that. Can't remember the exact details on this, but he did say that it was somewhat hard to find a barrel for these period correct with that sort of sighting system on it. All right, so I reviewed the footage real quick before coming down here, and I could see those were going extremely low. I heard metal, so I don't know if it was just whatever it was kicking up hitting the metal, or if we was actually hitting that front leg there. But it should make for some really good slow motion footage there. I've seen against the snow. You could see that slug flying through the air really good. But yeah, I was doing 6 o'clock hold on that green dot there with the bead, so I was putting the bead at the very bottom of that green dot. So technically they're hitting dead on with a center hold or slightly high, that one there. So 50 yards completely zeroed dead on. And then down there at 100 though, that's got to be at least a foot drop. I'll discuss it when I go down there, but there's your group there at 50 yards. And I got small hands. Oh, it's still sticky. Crap. So if that gives you any idea of the group size there, looking at about 3 inches. So yeah, this thing isn't very big. It's smaller than a white-tailed deer. So I just was kind of covering up here with that bead, and we were just hitting low of it down in there. So that would, it's probably a 1.5 foot drop from 50 to 100 yards there. That's pretty crazy. That whole round section there looks about like my 16-inch gong, if that gives you any idea on the drop. So I was holding the bead right about there. I could still just see the very outline over the bead of that hump there. So I was literally covering it with the bead, and the slugs were hitting down there. So that's a good 18 inches, maybe a little more low. So she's dead on at 50 for you, Andrew, and you're 18 to 20 inches low there at 100 if you were to stretch it out that far, which that would mean somewhere in between, say a 75-80 yard shot, it's probably going to be 8 to 12 inches low. And then closer than 50 yards, as you can see from our first shot up there, I didn't mess with the elevation at all. Up there at 20 yards, it was about dead on too. So you should be good anywhere to 50. It's going to start dropping after that. 18, 20 low at 100 here. Somewhere in between, you're just going to have to guess. So that does it, guys. She's good to go. Appreciate you watching. If you want to get any of the products you see in the video, like the steel target, shooting bag, earmuffs, and way more, links in the description. As I said, I also link in the description. There's a review video for this old girl if you want to check it out. Really loving this shotgun. I had a ton of fun with it in the review video. It patterns really well. It just busts clays like crazy and shoots slugs pretty good, even with the standard field barrel that was on it. We did slugs in that video, like I said, and this one's definitely grouping them tighter. It probably helps having that rifle sight set up on there. But anyways, if you want to check that review video out, it's linked in the description as well. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.